And on behalf of All Aboard Travel, I would like to welcome everyone to this evening's call. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join us and learn about the program that we offer to you. Besides myself on this call, we also have Group Leader Specialist Myrna Carlson. The topics we will cover in tonight's seminar is what is a group leader, and we will also address what a group leader is not. What is group travel? Common group destination. What's on your bucket list? Benefits of being a group leader, and I know that's what's on everyone's mind. What's in it for me? How to promote a group? How our team at All Aboard Travel will assist you in being successful? And, of course, how do I begin? Where do we get started? The first question, what is a group leader? A group leader is a Pied Piper or a cheerleader that helps in selecting a particular trip to promote to their community, organizations such as a church or club, a circle of friends, or family. And you are rewarded for your efforts with discounted travel and money that you can use towards your travel or however you desire. What a travel group leader is not, it is not an escort. You are not being hired to host a trip and expected to entertain them the entire cruise. And it is not a career changer, and you are not the travel agent. You are merely the person that is going to promote the departure, get people excited about the trip, and spread the word around. Group travel is a way that you can go to your dream destinations in a fun, safe, enjoyable way with the camaraderie and community that you live in. When traveling as a group, you can do that with people that you already know or a way to reach out to meet new people with common interests. Groups generally are defined as 8 cabins on a cruise, and those 8 cabins would have in them each 2 full fare paying passengers. So that would be a total of 16 people. Some of the cruise lines, such as river cruises in Europe, are a little bit less than that, and on land-based tours and bus tours, those numbers may vary as well. Common group destinations. How do you decide where you'd like to go? Start with you. Is there a destination that you've always wanted to see? Is there a dream that you've had? Something on your bucket list? Well, since you're going to be promoting it and getting people excited, it should be a place where you would like to go. Most of our common destinations are the Caribbean, Alaska, Panama Canal, Hawaii, Europe, and Las Vegas. What's in it for me? I know that's the question on everyone's mind. One of the best benefits is free or deeply discounted travel. And your benefits in this respect depend upon the number of attendees, passengers that you have traveling with you. So the more travelers, the merrier it will be for you. Excellent compensation. Besides money that will go towards your own fare, you will also earn daily group leader compensation. And what this means is, for every person that you have complete your trip with you, you earn $1 to $2 per person per day. So, for example, if you have 30 passengers on a 10-day cruise and their fare is under $500, you would get $1 per person per day, or $300. Most of the cruises will be over $500, and you will be earning $2 per person per day. So in that case, would be $600 for that same 30 people traveling on a 10-day cruise. And this is in addition to what you would earn towards your fare. Minimum of paperwork. Again, you are going to be the cheerleader, the Pied Piper, the person that gets the word out there, gets people excited. So we don't want to bog you down with a lot of paperwork, so we do most of the work for you. Your travel professionals at All Aboard Travel will take the reservations, process payments, provide you with lists of attendees, and do all of the reservations with the cruise line. We have a great team at All Aboard Travel that has many, many years of experience in the industry, and we will make sure from beginning to end that we give you all the support you need to make your trip a success. We also offer to you presentations. If you're in our area in Southwest Florida, we can actually come out to your community live and do a presentation, for example, with a morning coffee and donuts or afternoon wine and cheese party. In many cases, we can bring a representative from the cruise line or tour company along with us who will do a professional presentation with a video, and we can also offer door prizes in order to get the most attendance for your event. Our marketing department at All Aboard Travel will customize a group trip flyer just for you. It's a beautiful 4-color piece. And then the benefit of meeting new friends and having fun. There are a lot of people in communities that don't know each other. It's a good way for people to get together. Maybe you're in a club, organization, church, or just have people with a common interest. This is a great opportunity. People are traveling. We all hear from friends and family about the cruise they took last winter, about the cruise they have coming up. Maybe they visited a particular place in Europe over the summer. So people are traveling. So why not benefit from these travelers? How to promote a group. Being the group leader, we will work with you in order to select the perfect trip, whether it be a cruise, a land package, to the Caribbean, to Europe, to Alaska. So once you decide on that, All Aboard Travel will provide you with a customized flyer, which we will look at in a moment, that will have your contact information in a printed version, again, a beautiful 4-color piece, and also available in a format for you to email. We will secure the very nice glossy brochures from the cruise line to enable you to promote it to your people. Once this trip has been decided on, we'll schedule a presentation, which we also call a kickoff. We'll encourage you to put up flyers in your community, place an ad in your newsletter, your church bulletin, or on your closed-circuit TV within your community. We'll assist you setting up an email blast to your friends, family, or again, set up the presentation for the meeting. Here is a custom flyer example. This particular group has been very successful over the past 8 years with All Aboard Travel. They are a close-knit community, and we have a lot of returning people year after year. They do a winter, January, February cruise every single year. And we have a lot of repeat passengers. And then as new people come into the community, they hear about it and join in as well. So we will put the name of your community or your club on the top of the flyer and also highlight the name of the ship. The starting price of $7.99 is the lead-in price and includes all taxes and fees, which we have found most successful. We then take 3 beautiful photos of a destination, of the ship, or something else to entice your people to become interested. The ship departure and itinerary is listed, and then you can see we are offering a $50 per cabin onboard credit to all of your passengers. These are called group amenities, and you as group leader will work with the specialist at All Aboard Travel in determining which amenity is best for your group. It could be an onboard credit, a cocktail party, a bottle of wine in the cabin, a plate of strawberries, whatever you think your passengers would like most. The next box is for your information. This is not for you to take reservations, make lists of people attending, etc. This is more for general information. So if you would like to have your name, phone number, and email contact, we will add that in. Then it has to make reservations, call your travel specialist at All Aboard Travel. So again, you would just be getting general information calls, and then all the reservations would be directed to one of our team members. On this particular trip, we include a round-trip bus, which is very popular to those living in the state of Florida. We offer detailed pricing and brief cabin descriptions so people can tell right away what is available to them at the group rate. How can All Aboard Travel help you to be successful? Our group sales specialists are available to answer all questions and make the booking process as simple as possible. Generally, you are spreading the word about the cruise. People are calling us to find out what cabins are available, what they need to do to book, the information that they need to give us, and the deposit. So we would be the direct contact for all reservations. We can do that live presentation to your community, or if you are not in the Southwest Florida area, we can set up a webinar similar to the one that you're on right now. All Aboard handles the booking and payment process from beginning to end and provides you with an updated passenger list whenever you would like one. Today, the documents for a cruise are now in electronic form. They're called e-docs or e-documents. We will make sure that we send out the e-docs to everyone in your group. Don't just take our word for it.
I've been a group leader through All Aboard for 5 years and have enjoyed both discounted and free trips as a result. The All Aboard travel professionals have identified, then booked simply wonderful trips for my local community friends. They gave me flyers, brochures, sample articles, everything I needed to promote the trips in our newsletter, at morning coffees, and other places around my community. All Aboard handles all the details. It's really hassle-free. This year we're doing both a Caribbean cruise and a motor coach tour to Key West. Joan F.
And here's another one of our satisfied group leaders.
Someone mentioned to me that working with All Aboard Travel would be a unique way for us to raise money for our church. What a brilliant idea this has turned out to be. We've raised some serious money for the church. Plus, just as importantly, being on the cruises together is such a great way to grow the fellowship among our church members. Our agent at All Aboard takes care of the details, so pretty much we just enjoy ourselves. Betty.
Thank you very much. We have had much success with raising money for churches and organizations. If you are involved with a non-for-profit, you would submit a tax-exempt form to make the most out of this fundraiser money. One example is a church in Southwest Florida that we have been dealing with for the past few years. They have done everything from a Caribbean cruise to an Alaska adventure. Most recently, the group on one trip alone, one cruise alone, has earned $17,000. That is $17,000 in fundraiser money for the church. So it is very, very successful. We did have a question from our earlier webinar, and basically the group leader will decide when initiating the group what money or funds will go towards the fundraiser and what will be distributed among the people who are traveling or even the group leader themselves. So there's great opportunity here. How do you contact an All Aboard Travel group leader specialist? Let our team help get you started. You may contact us via phone at 800-741-1000 1770, press extension 6411 for Myrna. You may also email us, and be sure to include in your subject line Group Leader Travel so that we can answer your email very quickly. You may also visit our website at allaboardtravel.com, click on the Group Cruising tab, and there you'll see a list of frequently asked questions. If you do not see your answer there or your question, please don't hesitate to reach out to us by phone or email. At this point, we are going to open up for questions. And Nancy, you can let us know if we have any questions pending.
Great, Suzanne. Thank you. We do have a few questions. However, again, I'd like to remind everyone, if you have a question, please go ahead and type that into the question box, and then we can answer that question for you. So one question here is, if I don't meet the minimum number of passengers, what happens to my group?
That's a great question. If you do not meet the required 8 cabins or 16 passengers, most of the cruise line will still protect the group pricing. So your passengers will not have to cancel, they won't have to move to another departure, and they will not have to pay any more money. You will not be able to earn your complimentary or free berths, and we at All Aboard Travel have some resources available to us that may assist you in being more successful. We'll work with you to determine maybe this is not the right trip and we can plan something else. We can come up with some other ideas how to stimulate people's interest. So we will work with you from beginning to end to make sure that your trip is a success.
Great. Thank you, Suzanne. We do have a question from Cindy. How many trips are required to be organized?
Thank you, Cindy, for the question. And I'm not sure what you refer to with how many trips to be organized. We sometimes work with different groups or communities on one trip a year, so there is no minimum amount. Again, the numbers that are required to make a group, generally speaking, are those 8 rooms and those 16 people. And if Cindy, wanted to clarify a bit on her question, I'd be more than happy to address that.
Excellent. And let's see, Carl is asking, is the income that they make, whether it be the $300, the $600, or the $1,200, is that income taxable?
Yes, Carl, that is taxable. Once we sign you on as an All Aboard Travel group leader, we do ask you to fill out a W-9 form, and we do report all earnings. We do not deduct any taxes, but we will send you a 1099 at the end of the tax year, and that is reportable income.
Okay. And Catherine's asking, is there a cost for the group leader to join?
That's a great question, Catherine, and there is absolutely no cost to you. We just require your enthusiasm, your love of travel, and your willingness to promote the trip that you decide upon. There's no membership fees. There's no financial commitment. We will provide your flyers and brochures, and even at the coffees or the wine and cheese parties, we will help sponsor those for you. So the commitment is your enthusiasm and your time in promoting your trip.
Okay, great. And Cindy did say that you answered her question, but she had another one about that 1099. Would it be for the value of any free items and monies received, as well as the monies?
The 1099 is based upon the monies that are paid out to you in a check form. the value of the trip that you're earning is not taxable.
Okay, and Cheryl's asking, how long after booking the group cruise will I receive the commission money?
That's a good question, Cheryl. We have in process a payment that goes out once a month. So generally, the month after your cruise has ended, you would receive in a check form your daily compensations, and in this case, it would be the $2 or $4 per person per day, and any other monies that you have earned and have not used towards your travel fare. So if your trip ends, say, today in October, then you will receive your check by mail in November.
Okay, we're getting some more questions coming in as we go through. And this question is from Susan. How far in advance do you have to plan the cruise group?
Susan, we have found that to be most successful, usually having at least a year out would allow enough time for a few things to be put in place properly. Number one, if we're contracting with a cruise line or a tour operator, we'll know that they'll have plenty of space available for us to block for the group. Number two, you're going to need that time to promote the group. So if you start at least a year in advance, start getting the word out there, start getting word around, you'll find that it'll be most successful. Generally, up to 3 months prior to departure or 30 days, you can still actively promote the group. Now, if you have something specific in mind and know that there are a lot of people that you can get to sign up almost immediately, then there is some flexibility with that 1 year in advance.
And Susan has a follow-up question to that. Given it is so far in advance, can the cruise trip be insured in case passenger plans change?
Yes, absolutely. We encourage all of our passengers to purchase travel insurance. This not only covers cancellation, interruption, it also covers medical and dental while traveling, as well as baggage loss and protection, emergency evacuation, and generally gets you a 24-hour concierge service around the world. So we highly recommend that to everyone that is traveling on a cruise or a land package.
Okay, the questions are pouring in here. Richard is saying he wants just clarification. Does the money go toward my ticket or is it in addition to the ticket?
The compensation that you receive towards your fare, that would be for a complimentary berth or a bed or a pass. If you're earning for more than one, it could cover the cost of the entire cabin or room. So you're earning towards your fare in one respect, and then the daily compensation, the $1, $2, or in this case the $2 and $4, is above and beyond that. So you would have money that would cover your own travel expenses, and then after the trip, you would get any residual money left over, plus your daily compensation. So you're earning both ways.
Excellent. And Damon has a number of questions all in a row here. He's interested in charity work to raise funds. And can you describe how the people joining benefit for the tax benefit?
Okay. For example, in the churches or nonprofits that we work with, we will determine upfront how much we want to build into the price of the cruise for the fundraiser. So on one of the church groups I have worked with personally, we decided to add in $50.
Suzanne, we just lost your audio for a moment. If you could repeat that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
With the fundraisers, we would determine in advance how much you wanted to add into the price of the cruise fare for the passengers. So, for example, on a group that we had done for a local church, we decided to add in $50 to the price of the cruise right at the start, so we would ensure that everyone traveling would be donating at least $50 towards the organization. A lot of the cruise lines will match. They have fundraising matching, or there's other ways that we can build up that money for the organization. The money that you earn for your complimentary berth or your complimentary fare, you can also incorporate that into the fundraiser. And the daily compensation, the $1 to $2 or $2 to $4 per person per day, can be put into that as well. And that's something that you as the group leader and the organization would decide up front. If all the money is going to the fundraiser, part of it, if you're being compensated for leading the group. Hello?
Yes, hello. Great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I wasn't sure if you were finished there. Okay. Here's one from Cheryl. Is there a minimal length to the cruise plan, such as 3 to 4 days?
Oh, no, Cheryl, not at all. We actually do some bus tours that are a 1-night, 2-day trip. A lot of cruises, we have 3 or 4 night cruises out of Florida to the Bahamas. And we can work with a group for any of those departures. It's what works best for you. So there really is no minimum.
Excellent. And Jaylene is asking, on a very large group, what is the maximum number of tour conductor berths possible?
Okay, there really is no maximum. Like I had mentioned, the more the merrier for you. So, for example, if you have a group, which we currently have one, it's a musical group, and they are at 127 passengers. They have already earned 8 free berths, 8 complimentary berths on their cruise. So the 4 members of the group, along with their wives, they are pretty much paid for their cabin in full. So the more people you book, the more complimentary berths you get. And if you do not use them, that would roll over into that payout after you come back from the cruise.
That's excellent. Catherine's asking if you have ever heard of the bingo cruise. She must have a group in mind.
Okay, Catherine. I know that there's all types of affinity groups out there, and if this is, I've heard of poker cruises, and like I said, we're doing 50, 60 doo-wop cruises. So if it's a bingo players cruise, that's something that we can definitely work with. As long as you have the people that are interested in it, while on board, we could set up special, private, exclusive events for your passengers. If they want to play bingo twice a day, we could definitely arrange that. And, you know, there are also some bingo games that are quite exciting on ships that usually have a big bonus rollout jackpot on the last day. So if you have a lot of bingo players, that's something that we can definitely arrange for you.
These are some great questions. I'm not seeing any other questions coming in at the moment, but I do encourage you to go ahead and ask any more questions. We did have one earlier about the person not being familiar with the cruise lines and trying to figure out what cruise lines would be the best cruise lines. How do they go about finding that information out?
Well, your specialists at All Aboard Travel have years of experience in the travel industry. We are very, very well versed on the different cruise lines, the different ships, the different destinations. And because there is such a variety out there, we guarantee that there's something for everyone. So we will work closely with you, the group leader, in determining what would be the best choice for your group. We have brochures available. In some cases, we'll have videos like DVDs that we can share with you. We can have you even do ship inspections. That's a very popular thing for us to do with our group leaders. Whenever a ship is in port, and we are lucky here in Florida to have the ports of Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Tampa, and Orlando, to name a few, that any time that the ship is in port, we can arrange to have a ship tour, a ship inspection, and a wonderful luncheon on board. So we'll make sure that you have all the opportunities to get to know the product to make sure that it's the right one for your group.
Okay, and Damon's got another question. He's asking, are you able to arrange a medical program? And I asked him to clarify, and he said, for example, courses for a small group of doctors.
In that respect, we would be hiring a specialist or a speaker or an expert. And yes, that is definitely something that we can arrange. We would just have to make sure that your attendees would, definitely be interested, and make sure that on the ship itself, we would set it up as an exclusive and private event. We have at our disposal on the ships conference rooms, theaters, public areas if we needed to, in order to do something like that, something very specialized for you.
These are excellent questions. Okay, Jackie has a question. Can kids book in the group, and can the cruise depart from somewhere besides Florida?
Yes, Jackie, absolutely. We have departures from anywhere over the world. I myself just came back from a departure out of Southampton, England, that went to the Mediterranean. We have cruises that depart out of New York. We have Baltimore, Boston, Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, or anywhere else around the world. The ships run usually by season, but you can find a ship going anywhere around the world pretty much at any time. As far as the children are concerned, the group requirements are for the first 2 full fare-paying passengers in the cabin. So as long as the child is with another adult, then they would count towards the group number. If you have 2 adults and then a child in the cabin who is a 3rd and or 4th passenger, and they're traveling either for free or a highly discounted rate, they would not count towards the totals. And in the cabins, there must be at least 1 person who is age 18, and in some certain cases, age 25. So you can't have 2 minors in a cabin. You'd have to match them up with at least 1 adult.
Okay, we've got some more questions coming in. This one from Janet. So if you don't have the minimum amount of cabins, do you earn anything off your cabin price? Also, can I arrange a trip anywhere, as in an all-inclusive destination?
Yes, absolutely. All-inclusive destinations are quite popular. A lot of the Caribbean islands have them, and then there's properties such as Club Med, which are worldwide. And they would be a pay-one price. Everything is included, from your meals to your beverages to your activities, and we can definitely work with you on that. As far as earning, if you don't meet your minimum, you still would get the group rate, but you would not earn towards your fare as far as the complimentary berth, but you would still earn the daily compensation.
Okay, excellent. I'm just going to give it another minute to see if there are any other questions coming in. Let's see. Can interested travelers use their reward points to pay for the trips? This coming from Cindy.
Cindy, generally the reward points have to be redeemed how they come through to you, which is usually in a credit card form. So in most cases, they would not be valid towards group travel. However, we have had cases where people have credit cards. For example, I have one customer who has a Royal Caribbean card, and she gets a double or triple points whenever she uses that card to pay for her Royal Caribbean cruises. So you can earn towards your points, but you do have to redeem through the rewards department of the company.
Let's see here. There are packages on the All Aboard Travel website. Can I establish a group for one of these package tours?
Oh yes, we would highly encourage you to do so. These are packages that are unique and exclusive to All Aboard Travel. We have a logistics department that painstakingly puts these packages together to include a cruise product and also air, hotel, transfers, and in some cases tours. So we would absolutely love to have you promote one of our packages.
Okay, what great questions tonight. I don't see anything else coming in at the moment, so we'll give it another minute. I do want to remind everyone on the call that this call has been recorded, and we will be sending out the link to the recording so you can review it at your leisure, and you should see that in your emails sometime tomorrow. I do have a question from John. Can I book a wedding party in a group on a cruise?
Yes, John, absolutely. We do a lot of destination wedding locations and also on a cruise ship. So usually it's planned to be either at the port or at one of the ports of call. All of the cruise lines actually have a wedding planning department that are a great resource, and it is something that they do well and something that they do quite often. So the cruise lines have it down to an absolute science. So yes, absolutely.
And as a follow-up, he says, could you do one of these online meetings for my community group?
Yes, absolutely. We have no problem at all. We would just have to determine what cruise you would like to promote, put together a beautiful flyer for you, and then we would work with you in creating a PowerPoint presentation and promoting the cruise. So we would send out invitations, or you can put up flyers. But yes, we will absolutely work with you to make sure that you get a great response to your webinar.
Okay, and Janet has another question. What is your involvement with your group while during the vacation from start to finish?
The destinations, usually a cruise ship or a land resort, the experts are there. The people that best know the ship and their destinations are the cruise directors, the entertainment directors, the hosts, etc. So you're kind of leading the way, but you're not entertaining people from sunrise to sunset. We find that on a cruise that there's so many activities, wonderful shows and events on the ship itself that people are just fine on their own. Sometimes you may, want to arrange a particular shore excursion for your group, but it's not entirely necessary. So it's basically, you're on vacation and you're there not to host the group, but just to kind of be their contact and their leader, but not to be working for them during the trip.
Okay, here's a question from Cheryl. Can you offer government rates?
We will ensure at the time we put your group together that we are getting the best pricing for your group. In many of the cases, our negotiated group rates are a lot less than any type of discounted rate or promotion that's out there. So usually if you're booking in advance and we're securing group rates, they're going to be lower than a government rate, a military rate, police or fire rate, senior rate, resident discount. But we will always make sure that you and your passengers are getting the best rate out there.
Okay, I don't see any other questions coming in. Again, I'll give it another minute. Every time I say that, we get a few more. Let's see. Okay, so here's one from Linda. I get a lot of brochures and emails from the cruise companies. Are their promotions, like drink packages, included for my group?
Drink packages are an option that can be purchased through the cruise line for your group, either before they embark on the ship or when they get there. Generally, we do not include those in any of the group pricing because that is a personal purchase and an option. The drink packages in general run about $50 per person per day. Some cruise lines will allow one individual in the cabin to purchase and not the other. Some other cruise lines make it mandatory that both purchase, and they have to be purchased for the entire length of the cruise. So we can guide your passengers how the best way is to do that if they are interested.
And here's
something I might want to point out here too, and I'm sorry, this is an afterthought. A lot of, or a couple of the cruise lines actually have promotions where you can pick a perk, pick a promotion, pick a bonus offer, and in some cases, they do allow that free perk or bonus to be the beverage package. We've had groups that have actually changed cruise lines in order to take advantage of that promotion. So that's something to think about too.
Okay, a couple more of them have come in. This one from Janet. If you get your group to book the shore excursions, do you get any benefit from that?
Janet, there is no benefit for the shore excursions other than that you'll have the companionship and camaraderie of doing something with your group. Generally speaking, we are just arranging those for you just as a courtesy, but there is no benefit other than if sometimes you may have a larger group, the shore excursion company or the shore excursion from the cruise line might give a small percentage off for the group, as like a discount of 10% or so, just as an example.
Okay, and so Cheryl's asking, can individuals pay separately for the cruise or must it be one lump payment?
Usually there's a deposit required, and that varies by cruise line, length of ship. But just as an example, a standard deposit for a 7-night cruise may be $250. If there are 2 people in the cabin, card, and then they can pay subsequent payments or final payment to their cruise with a different credit card themselves. So we take all different forms of payment, and we can split them up with no problem.
Okay, here's another question from Janet. If we want to advertise an event to get a group, do you help with the cost?
It depends on the means of advertising. Some of the cruise lines, and in certain cases, they do have what they call co-op or cooperative marketing funds available. We will provide you with the flyer, the printing of the flyer, and we can send out email blasts for you. If it's something that you're thinking about taking out an ad in a newspaper or a community bulletin, then that's something that we can definitely discuss in sharing those costs with you.
Okay. These are all great questions. And here's one from Joan. Does the group automatically get dining together on the cruise?
That will have to be requested. And what I mean by that is when you're working with your all-aboard group specialist, you can let us know if they prefer early dining, if they prefer late dining, or as a lot of cruise lines offer now, the My Time or personal choice dining. So what that means is when people call in, they can indicate which dining they prefer. If we have a lot of people who want to be on, say, early dining, then Myrna Carlson actually works with the department at the cruise line to make sure that people are seated together at certain tables or in the same section of the dining room. And we can also submit a table seating list if you have, very specific people or family members or friends that want to sit together.
Okay, and here's one from Peggy. Living in Georgia, would you work with a local bus company to drive the passengers to the airport or to a port in Florida?
Yes, Georgia. We actually work with transportation companies all over the country, and we would determine what's best for you. In the past, we have chartered buses. Sometimes we'll do flights and then transfer to the ships. So whatever is best for your group, we will definitely work with you to get that done.
Great. And here, this is a question from Catherine. It says, if there's just 2 of us looking to go on a cruise, can I still be considered a group leader?
2 people doesn't constitute a group. However, we would definitely encourage you to call a travel specialist at All Aboard Travel, and we will see if we can include you in one of our already existing groups, or we will make sure that you get the absolute best travel deal that's out there for your trip.
Okay, well, we're coming close to our time, and I don't see any other questions in there. So, Suzanne, I'll let you wrap this up for the evening.
Okay, on behalf of myself, Myrna, Mary, and the staff at All Aboard Travel, we want to thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to attend our webinar. We can't wait to see you aboard soon.
Thank you, everyone, and good night.